The Los Angeles Dodgers are in serious trouble, and if they don't right this ship, we may not see the Dodgers-Yankees World Series that a lot of fans around Major League Baseball want to see. So we'll break down what needs to change and what's been happening with the Dodgers on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we'll be breaking down why the Los Angeles Dodgers are in trouble as they head into a Game 3 matchup, tied 1-1 against the New York Mets, who have just been on an absolute tear since the start of the postseason. Before we do that, though, I want to let you know that around 97% of you watching these videos are not subscribed, so go ahead and hit that sub button. It'll mean the world to me, and we're almost at my goal of 1,500 subscribers, so go ahead and do that for me and be great. But let's get straight into the video right here, and the reason why I'm saying this, I don't want to alarm Dodger fans here. I don't want to crap all over the team either. I'm just pointing out some facts, some things that I have been seeing, and let's get straight into it. So the teams that have eliminated the Brewers in the postseason, ever, all time, have all made the World Series. The New York Mets defeated Milwaukee in the wild card round. Now they are in the NLCS. They feel like a team of destiny. And I really don't know. And especially in recent memory, 4 out of the last 5 seasons here. You have the team that has defeated Milwaukee move on to play in the World Series. It's totally crazy. It's totally crazy. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe the Brewers are the most unlucky franchise in Major League Baseball. Those things could be true, but I don't know. The way that the Mets have been playing alongside that combination of everybody who beats Milwaukee ends up going all the way, I think there's a legitimate chance here that the Dodgers don't get to the World Series. And we'll move on here to the next screenshot. Another worrisome point here for me is that Ohtani is 0 for 19 with bases empty this postseason compared to being 6 for 8 with runners on. And we all know that he is the leadoff hitter. Should the Dodgers consider moving him down in the lineup? I wouldn't, personally, because him moving to that leadoff spot was a big reason why the Dodgers righted the ship late in the season. They went through a little bit of a lull without Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman in the lineup, and Ohtani was basically their savior. He came back and he was allowing them to just do whatever and win ball games, and he was in the leadoff spot while they were winning. So I don't think a change is necessary. I don't think it's time to push the panic button on Ohtani either. He's the greatest player my two eyes have ever seen, and probably the greatest player that we will ever see in this game with his level of dominance. So I'm not worried. I'm not going to press the panic button, but it's definitely something to consider for Dave Roberts as he heads into Game 3 against the New York Mets here. And Ohtani said he's focused on sticking to his approach regardless of whether he's hitting with the bases empty or men on base. Now, it could just be a mental thing at this point. He's a fantastic hitter. He had an amazing offensive season, one of the best seasons that we've ever seen from just a pure hitter standpoint here. So I'm not worried about him figuring it out. He's had some moments in the postseason where he's come up with big-time hits. Every single at-bat against the Padres in that series, it felt like he was going to do something spectacular. Maybe it just didn't always work out for him, but he's struggling a little bit. It's his first go-around in the postseason. He is human, which he is proving right now. He is proving that he is human and not just a robot that is the greatest baseball player that we've ever seen. So maybe he's feeling some nerves. There's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Shohei Ohtani, having signed the largest contract in sports history, coming to a big market team like the Los Angeles Dodgers, being the guy on a team with World Series aspirations. It's a lot on your plate. So even though he's a great player, and even though he's the best player that I've ever seen, it's still a lot to deal with. So I'll give him a little bit of a pass, but he definitely needs to step up his game if the Dodgers want to win a World Series this year. And another reason why the Dodgers may be in trouble is this young man right here, Mark Vientos, who is having an amazing postseason debut. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs in 9 games played. Come up with big hits throughout the entirety of the playoffs. An OPS over 1. And this guy, at 24 years old, is not showing any nerves. So in his first go-around in the postseason, this guy's hitting clutch home runs. He has been the most valuable contributor in a lineup that features Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo. It has been this rookie, Mark Vientos, or sophomore, I should say, who has been putting the team on his back at times offensively, and he's been very impressive. I had him in fantasy baseball this year. He struggled a little bit down the stretch, but he's really starting to hit his groove at the right time for the New York Mets, and they just feel like a team of destiny, man. They really do, and as we head into tonight's game, we see that it's basically a pick'em. The Dodgers are minus 115 odds here, and you got the New York Mets at minus 105. So they're not too far away in odds for this matchup here in Queens. And you got Luis Severino on the bump for the Mets. You got Walker Buehler on the bump for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who was very good in his last outing as well. He was decent in his last outing, I should say. So. Buehler against Severino, I give a slight edge to the Mets in that matchup right there. The total not overly high, 7.5, but I do expect some runs to be scored here fairly early on as well. So it's going to be a nice pitching matchup. It's going to be a evenly matched game, I believe, and we'll probably get a close ball game, maybe the closest that we've had in the series here. We've seen blowout losses in both directions here. We saw a shutout win for the Dodgers in Game 1, then we saw a pretty lopsided victory by the Mets in Game 2. So I'm expecting this series to tighten up a little bit. I'm expecting both teams to arrive as soon as the first inning rolls around here tonight, and it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a really fun matchup tonight. I can't wait for it. This is a game that the Mets need to have. And it doesn't really feel that way for the Dodgers. I have faith in their pitching staff and faith in their offense to win Game 4 if they don't win tonight. But the Mets, with their ace on the mound tonight in Luis Severino, it feels like a game that they need to win. So if the Dodgers right the ship tonight, and if they get a W tonight, I think they're going to cakewalk their way to the World Series. But if they lose tonight, which is a realistic possibility, then there is a legitimate chance that we have a New York Mets against New York Yankees World Series. The Yankees haven't finished the job yet, but the Cleveland Guardians just look totally overmatched, and I don't think they have any chance of even winning a game in that series. So it's going to be interesting to follow. That series has definitely been less eventful than the one that we're going to witness tonight, and hopefully we see a close ball game that comes down to the wire. That's what I'm looking for. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Thanks, guys, for making it this far. Really appreciate all the support. And make sure to hit that subscribe button yet again, because a large percentage of you watching these videos are not subbed to the channel. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a ton. But check out Baseball Town as well. They're your one-stop shop for everything that you need baseball or softball related, whether it's cleats, gloves, batting gloves, bats. They got you covered. The best equipment at the most competitive prices. And I'll see you all tomorrow.